quick walkthrough on how to do a collage in Photoshop, Adobe's Photoshop. Alright, so I started off, I've got an image open here that is a piece of barnwood, and I just copied and pasted it from the internet, and so it sits in its own layer here. If I turn this on and off, it becomes visible and not visible. Okay, so that little eyeball, like it says, indicates visibility. Doesn't mean the object's gone when you turn it off, it just means it's not currently visible. And then, so I'm working from an example done by another application and with some images, and I just pulled the images out of it to try to reconstruct this in Photoshop. So I've got the big tall tree image. Let's see if I can find that. There we go. So I'm going to go to Edit, select all layers. No. Select all. There we go. I don't usually use the menu. I use the shortcuts. So if you go select all, it's the same as doing the Command A or Control A in Windows. And that makes a selection. So it uses this selection tool, and we call those the marching ants, the little moving dots around the outside. And then I'm going to copy it. So just edit, copy. Again, I always use Control C to do the shortcut. And I'll flip it back to my barnwood. Go to edit, paste. Notice it puts it into its own layer here. And usually you can double click these and rename them to help keep track of things. So tall tree, and this one I'll call that barnwood. Okay, this is the move tool, this top one. And notice all these tools have little shortcut keys too. If you hover over, it tells you what letter to type on the keyboard to get you there. So move is V, and I don't have all of these memorized, but the ones I use a lot I do. Alright, but I want to make sure that I'm selected the layer that I want to work with. Whatever you have, this is a beginner mistake to try to do something in Photoshop with multiple layers and you don't have the right layer selected, and it won't do what you want it to do. So I want to manipulate the tall tree. I want to resize it so it's selected, and then I want to make sure I have the move tool selected. Then I grab a corner and I'm going to hold the shift key down to keep my proportions the same. So I'm going to just click and drag and resize the thing. And we'll just put it about here. Let's see, what was my original? Yeah, about like that. Oh, it didn't take, so I didn't commit it. So, all right, I'll try it one more time. Put it up. Oh, I got it a little too small that time. So, something like that. And then I just click off of it again, click a tool, and it'll ask, do you want to apply that transformation? So I say yes, and now it's at its new size. If you notice, these all have a white border around them, just like good old-fashioned photographs. So we can do that pretty easily in Photoshop too. Go to Image, Edit, Stroke. Tell it the size of stroke. Let's see, 10, maybe 12 pixels. Make sure the color is set to white. Click OK. Make sure it's set to outside. Click OK. And it puts a nice painted stroke around it, 12 pixels in white. And just repeat that process. Then I got to go find my other images. So there's another one. I'm going to do Command A to select everything. That's the same, edit, select all, or select, yeah, it was select all, Command A. That gives me everything. Then I'm going to Control C to copy. And I'll go on back to here and Control V to paste, or go Edit, Paste. Control V. And how big was this one? Oh, it covered a third of the page or so. Down here in the bottom, looks a little bit too big. Resize it to about the right size, however you want it. Click Apply, Edit Stroke, still at 10, 12 pixels, hit OK. Boom, there's two of them. Let's go one more. Command A, Command C, Command V, back up here, Edit Stroke, OK, and one more. That guy there. Control A, Control C, Control V, Edit Stroke. Okay, and then how did they replace? Okay, so those two were kind of cattywampus. Is that the right two? I think so. I think I'm missing a picture, but you get the idea. So resize it. Make sure you hold Shift down when you resize so it doesn't distort the proportions. Hit Apply. Again. And I'll try to get these to be about the same size, and the guides will help do that. It'll lock it so it's aligned and roughly the same size. Apply. And I think I need to resize them both a little bit more. If I hold Shift click, I've got one. See how that indicates that layer selected, layer 3. But if I hold Shift and click that object, it selects them both. Now I've got 2 and 3 selected together. So I can resize them so they both move together. That's going to give me a little more room to rotate these guys. Rotate, down, apply, click. You go outside the corner, it turns into a curved arrow that tells you can rotate. You go up. Oh, I got the middle deal there a little bit. There we go. You can readjust the rotation point by grabbing that center piece there, like so. Apply. Get pretty close. That's the basic idea. I'm going to leave one image off, but that'll give you the idea there. You arrange them however you like there. And then when you're done, I'm going to save this for the web. Or if you're going to print it, you're going to want to save it in a high resolution. But to save for the web, it'll optimize it if you go to Export, Save for Web, and tell it you want a JPEG. I've got it set to medium quality, and this will render it in a resolution that's good for the web. When you preview it, it tells you how large a file it's going to be, 239K, about 1500 pixels, and it's going to be in the JPEG format, and that's all good. So I'm going to hit save, and I'll just put this right on my desktop and call it Collage. Hit save, and that's all there is to it. I just have to go to the desktop and view Collage, and I have a new JPEG that I can upload. Thanks for watching. How do I stop this thing?